by the Outer Way terrorist group, led by the notorious Danny.
In 2320, Jacob Lee and his partner Max Barrow are contract freight transporters working for the United Jupiter Company and co-pilots of the UJC Kirin. They have recently been ferrying shipments of unlabeled, volatile cargo between Europa and the UJC-operated Black Iron prison on Callisto, and their latest run promises to be lucrative enough for them to retire. During the descent from orbit to Black Iron prison, the Kirin is boarded by the Outer Way, a group purportedly responsible for numerous terrorist attacks on civilians, and the ship crash lands on Callisto's surface. Jacob and Outer Way leader Dani Nakamura are the only survivors. Both are recovered by Black Iron prison security head Captain Leon Ferries and incarcerated without charges or trial on the orders of Warden Duncan Cole.
Speak of the devil.
Choice. Every choice in your life has led you here.
Jacob awakens after the grueling intake process to find the prison being overrun by hostile inmates afflicted with an unknown disease. He encounters Elias Porter, a longtime prisoner who claims to have an escape plan, and they work together to overcome the infected, the prison's security systems, and the rapidly deteriorating prison itself. Elias tells Jacob that in order for their escape plan to succeed, they have to break out a skilled hacker who can summon a ship from orbit so that Jacob can fly them out. However, the hacker turns out to be Dani, and she refuses to join Jacob and Elias and pursues her own plan. Regardless, Jacob and Elias make their way for the tram that can take them to the Black Iron prison hangar. They are intercepted by ferries and ejected from the facility, where Elias dies when his spacesuit is damaged, and he suffocates.
Told him not to trust you.
Dani arrives, recovers Elias's data about Black Iron prison, and reluctantly decides to team up with Jacob as the infected personnel begin to mutate further and become more dangerous. They commandeer a vehicle, but instead of going to the hangar, Dani makes a detour to the wreck of the Kirin. She searches the cargo hold for a UJC bioweapon that had been smuggled off of Europa, but is disappointed to only find regular medical supplies. They continue on to the hangar and Dani calls down a ship to pick them up. However, Duncan intervenes and shoots down the ship, stating nobody is allowed to escape. The ship crashes into the hangar and causes it to collapse, forcing Jacob and Dani to flee. With their only method of escape gone, Jacob and Dani decide that their only course of action is to confront Duncan directly and get answers from him. To get back to the prison, they make their way through the ruins of Arcus, Callisto's original colony before it was abandoned, and the Black Iron prison was built on top of it. They discover that Arcus suffered an outbreak similar to what occurred in Black Iron prison, and the UJC subsequently exterminated the entire colony and covered it up. They also find a lab holding a dead alien creature that the original Arcus miners accidentally unearthed. Seeing its potential for accelerated evolution, the UJC harvested the alien's larvae and began experimenting with it on humans, which ultimately caused outbreaks on Europa and in Black Iron prison.
2, 1. We got some unfinished business.
What the hell?
As you can see, things have changed.
They are then ambushed by an infected Ferries, who has managed to maintain his intelligence, while Jacob and Dani manage to escape. Dani ends up being infected.
She was just trying to help you, but soon she'll be one up.
Once they return to Black Iron prison, Jacob is knocked out by a security robot and put back in his original cell. Jacob is then freed from his cell by the prison doctor, Dr. Caitlin Marla, and she instructs him to meet her at her lab, where she can cure Dani's infection and get him to Duncan. She reveals that Duncan is part of a group attempting to enact a plan called the Callisto Protocol, which is to find a way to advance human evolution. To further this end, Duncan arranged for a second outbreak to occur in Black Iron Prison similar to Arca's in order to find a subject compatible with the alien infection. Dr. Marla also tells Jacob that the only way to kill Darnie is to extract Ferris's DNA, which can be used to synthesize an antidote. When Jacob asks for the truth behind the outbreaks on Europa, Dr. Marla admits that the diluted version of the infection was accidentally released and provides Jacob access to Darnie's memories through their neural implants.
What do you got there?
What we got here is none of our business. Now, come on. We have a job to do.
This was our fault.
Really? No.
Jacob learns that Darnie's sister was killed in the Europa outbreak, and recovers his own memories where he was aware that the UJC was using his ship to smuggle alien lava samples, but he remained willfully ignorant due to the payments he was receiving. Jacob confronts Duncan, who pits him against the Alpha Ferries. Despite Ferris's mutations, Jacob is able to defeat him and extract his DNA. Duncan attempts to convince Jacob to turn over the DNA sample to him, but Jacob instead uses it to cure Darnie. Angered, Duncan activates the Black Iron Prison's self-destruct countdown and boasts that he has still gathered enough data to carry out the Callisto Protocol. Jacob and Darnie then rush for the prison's escape pods, but only find one left. Jacob puts Darnie in the escape pod along with an alien lava sample, giving Darnie all the evidence he needs to expose the UJC's secret experiments. Jacob stays behind in Black Iron Prison and continues to fight the infected creatures until Dr. Marla contacts him again. She manages to temporarily halt the self-destruct sequence and tells Jacob they can still escape, but they will have to work together. She is abruptly cut off by a still-living Biophage Ferries, who attacks Jacob in a jump scare. Like the video to grow the channel and subscribe to watch more in the future. Thanks for watching.